Hello guys and welcome to Medi Simplified. So today, uh, on the 8th day of this repeated topics for FMG by FMG, 10 days, 10 important topics, 10 p.m. at YouTube. So today is the day 8. Today is the day 8 and on this day 8, we are going to talk about the important points which I feel that can be asked in exam from forensic medicine and toxicology. Okay, so we'll talk about FMT today in quick recaps. So first we'll talk about McNaughton's rule. Everyone knows that McNaughton's rule is 84 IPC, 84 IPC of India. IPC is Indian Penal Code. I hope you all know that. So it says that insane is not responsible for his crime. Insane is not responsible for his crime. Okay. Now there are two things which can be asked in exam. So we should know about them. One is kleptomania and another one is this delirium tremens. Delirium tremens. Now, kleptomania is something where that person is stealing different articles, right? In kleptomania, remember the impulse is present. Impulse is present. So the patient has no advantage of 84 IPC. So he will be guilty or responsible for his cause, for his stealing. Delirium tremens, what happens? The patient is of alcohol withdrawal. Not patient, the person is of alcohol withdrawal, but yeah, he is a patient. Kleptomania is also a patient, but in kleptomania, impulse is present. So impulse present है, मतलब उसको पता है वो क्या कर रहा है, बस वो तो इस वजह से वो गिल्टी है ना, क्योंकि उसको 84 आईपीसी दैट इज मैकनॉटन्स रूल उसका एडवांटेज नहीं मिल रहा. पर डेलिरियम ट्रेमर्स में क्या हो रहा है कि वो अल्कोहल विड्रॉल के कारण कंफ्यूज्ड स्टेट में है, ठीक है, और वो अनसाउंड माइंड का है. He is in a confused state and he is having an unsound mind. So the patient of delirium tremens, if he does some crime, he is getting the advantage of IPC 84. And hence he is not responsible for his crime. Okay, these are the two different things which can be asked regarding McNaughton's rule. Now going further, there are few other laws of insanity. Recently in this INI-CET, other laws of insanity was asked. They are Durham's and Curran's rule. Durham's rule and Curran's rule. Okay. Now going further, there are few other laws regarding criminal responsibility. That is from IPC. That is from IPC 84. 82 to 86. 84 we all know it is McNaughton's rule. That is insane is not responsible for his crime. Talking about IPC 82, IPC 82 says that a child less than 7 years of age is not responsible for his crime. Not responsible for crime. Okay. Whereas a child of a age that is from 7 to 12 years is responsible for his crime. Depending upon his maturity. So who will decide that maturity? The court, depending on the maturity. Now going further, 85 and 86, they are related to the alcohol or intoxication. So if the person has done involuntarily intoxication, मतलब उसने शराब खुद से नहीं पी, उसे किसी ने बिना बताए मिला के पिला दिए, और अगर उस वक्त उससे कोई काम मतलब कोई क्राइम होता है तो वो रेस्पॉन्सिबल नहीं है. So a guy who is involuntarily intoxicated is not responsible for his crime, whereas a person, not only guy, girls can also be not responsible, but a person who has voluntarily intoxicated, means he has drunk alcohol or any other thing by his self. He knows that okay, he is a drinker, he drinks, and then he did some crime, then he is responsible for his crime. Okay, so these are few laws, out of which I think one law can be asked in our exam. So laws of criminal responsibility, IPC 82, less than 7 years, not responsible. IPC 83, 7 to 12 years, responsible depending upon the maturity. 84 is McNaughton's rule. 85 is involuntarily intoxication, not responsible. 86 is voluntarily intoxication, responsible. Now talking about attempt of suicide. Now, attempt of suicide, why I think it can be asked because right now we are talking much more about the mental health, right? So attempt of suicide is IPC 309. IPC 309. And what is the punishment? There is no punishment, right? Earlier, attempt to suicide was a criminal case, was a criminal offense, but now it has been decriminalized. Decriminalized. Okay, so remember IPC 309, attempt to suicide is having no punishment, it is decriminalized. Now the question comes, what is the ideal suicide poison? Ideal suicide poison, what is the ideal suicide poison? It is cyanide. What is ideal homicide poison? Is thallium. What is the most common homicide poison used in India? It's arsenic. What is the poisoning that mimics a disease, that is cholera? It is again arsenic. How does they mimic? Rice water stew. Rice water stew. Okay. Which is the poison that poisoning mimics tetanus? It is strychnine. Strychnine. So these are few important poisons to be remembered and the IPC of suicide. Going further, there are few laws about criminal abortion. Criminal abortion. Right? They range from the IPC 312 to 316. They are very easy to remember. IPC 312 is abortion with mother's consent. With mother's consent. IPC 313 is abortion without mother's consent. Okay. So if mother's consent has been done, mother knows that his child, his fetus is going to be aborted, then it is 312. And 313 is without mother's consent. 314 is if while doing the abortion, the mother dies. Death of mother. Death of mother is 314. IPC 315 is killing a fetus. Killing a fetus whose age is more than 28 weeks. Right? And 316 is with an attempt to kill a mother. With an attempt to kill the mother, you kill the fetus. Then it is 316. So 312 is abortion with mother's consent. 313 is abortion without mother's consent. 314 is the mother dies while doing this abortion. 315 is killing the fetus whose age is more than 28 weeks. Why it is more than 28 weeks? Because it was viable fetus. 316, it is with an attempt. Means killing the fetus while you are attempting to kill the mother. Now DNA fingerprinting. We'll talk a few words about DNA fingerprinting. It is best for maternal and paternal disputes. Maternal and paternal disputes. Right? This is one line you should remember. What is the best thing for solving the maternal and paternal disputes? It is DNA fingerprinting. There are 4 types. Loop, which is most common, around 70%. Right? Then whorls, then arches, and then composite. So I'll show you one image in which we can see all this. So if it is forming such loops, it is the most common one, and it is 70%, seen in around 70% of people. Then this is whorl, it is seen. Then this is arch, you can find the arches found, right? So this arch, and if all 3 or random mixture is there, then it is called as composite. Okay, permanent loss of fingerprint occurs due to radiation or due to a disease known as leprosy. In leprosy, also remember, we see madarosis. Madarosis is seen in other diseases also like SLE, etc. But remember, in leprosy, we see madarosis. What is madarosis? It is loss of eyebrow and eyelashes, not and or eyelashes. Okay, or both. So that is madrosis seen in leprosy. But remember, permanent loss of fingerprints occurs due to radiation or in leprosy. Now going further, a few words about toxicology. Remember, sea snakes are musculotoxic, viper is hematotoxic, and cobra is neurotoxic. Now we have few of this table, which I think can help us to diagnose the disease or the cause of the death in a clinically oriented question of toxicology. So just remember, I have 2-3 tables. Just I will try to remember it so that if a question comes from it, you can easily answer it, right? So hydrogen sulfide, odor is rotten egg. Zinc phosphide is fishy odor. Ethyl alcohol is fruity. So you can remember that alcohol you mix with fruity if you mix with fruity. So alcohol is fruity smell. Cyanide, we know it is bitter almond odor. Then organophosphate is kerosene-like. And the last is cannabis. It's like a burnt rope. Burnt rope is cannabis, right? So these are few odors which you should remember. There can be a direct question, one-liner. What is the odor of a zinc phosphide poisoning, which can fishy, or they can give a clinical scenario and they'll ask you what odor will you find. So from the clinical history, you need to find which poisoning it is and then the odor, or the odor will be given and you need to tell which poisoning it is, vice versa, right? So this is an important table. Now another is color, poison and color of lividity. What is this? After death, due to poisoning, there will be a postmortem lividity. So what can be those color which will help us to diagnose the cause of poisoning during postmortem? So carbon monoxide or HCN is bright cherry red color. Bright cherry red color. This was a question asked in FMG about HCN in FMG December 19, right? So this is December 20. The same question can be repeated. We don't know anything. Next is potassium chlorate. Chlorate, remember chocolate. So chocolate brown. Okay, then hydrogen sulfide. It is, the lividity color is blue-green. Blue-green. Opium is black. Phosphorus is dark brown. And the last, cyanide, is pink. Okay, so this color of lividity is important to remember if a clinical question is being asked. Now talking about the antidote. Antidote of atropine on dhatura is physostigmine. For cyanide poisoning, we can use amyl nitrate. Amyl nitrite or nitrate. Right? Strychnine poisoning, we use barbiturate. So we'll write barbs. Morphine or opium, we use naloxone, naltrexone. Okay, naloxone, naltrexone, etc. Methyl alcohol, we use fomepizole. Iron poisoning, we use desfuroxamine. And for PCM, it is a homework. The answer is from N. Okay, the answer is N-acetyl cysteine. Last time I don't want to give you guys any homework. So that is what I had to discuss today. Remember, these 3 tables will help you to solve any toxicology question based on clinical based. So it is a clinical based question. Do not forget to remember about the DNA fingerprinting type. Do watch this image once again while going before exam. I expect a question from the laws of criminal abortion. Which question it be, I don't know. And then suicide, we are talking more about mental health. So any question from suicide can also come. And McNaughton's rule and this are one of the favorite questions of the examiner from NB. So I hope this video was useful to you. So all the best for the exam. Do like, share, and subscribe my channel MediSimplified, and do not forget to comment down after passing that whether this video was helpful or not. Thank you.